Welcome to my modern homestead. It's Janet and I am finishing up my tea here. It's done brewing. So today I want to talk to you about France. France was our next country for Christmas around the world. And in France, it's very popular for homes to be decorated with nativities. And I don't speak French. As you can tell, I'm from southern Georgia. And there, the nativities are called nativity cribs. I couldn't begin to tell you how to say it in French. I have some wonderful, lovely viewers and subscribers, so I know you could. But for now, we'll just call them nativity cribs. And we have several special nativities we use in our home. And so I just thought I would bring you along. I'm actually going to join this video with the video of Ireland because there's not really a whole lot of activity to show you. It's mainly just us putting things out. And, you know, when we do our studies of Christmas around the world, there are so many sites with so much good, rich information about old traditions, new traditions. I tend to gravitate towards the old, some that aren't so popular anymore, but I just love all things old. So let's go. I forgot to tell you guys that in France, there are markets and fairs in some places dedicated just to buying nativity figures. And they would be in clay. And they don't only include the traditional nativity characters, is that what you would say? For the nativity, like Mary and Joseph and whatnot, the shepherds, the animals. They also use people from the community, like policemen or bakers, that type thing. So I found that really interesting. That fascinates me every year. And we love to go online and look at things. But I wanted to tell you, for information about traditions, a wonderful place to start is whychristmas.com. I use that one all the time during the Christmas season when I'm looking up my countries and finding information. So check them out, whychristmas.com. Oh, she's showing me baby Jesus because a lot of years we don't put him in the actual manger until Christmas Day. It's up to you. We can do it either way this year.
Oh, he's already in there.
Okay. This is our nativity that my husband bought us, or excuse me, he bought it for me for Christmas one year. I found it and fell in love with it. It's olive wood from Israel, and it is my very, very favorite. I found it in a mall in Texas, and when he came home for Christmas that year here to Georgia, he brought it back with him for a Christmas present. And it has been one of my favorite Christmas presents ever. Jake always likes to put out this one. Thank you, bud. Now, I said this was from Israel, but I needed to be more specific. This olive wood actually came from Bethlehem. So, I just love it. Okay, are you ready for Ireland? let's get started. But before I tell you about our traditions for Ireland, I do want to share this book. This book, I got it before Alyssa was ever born, so it's more than 16 years old already. In fact, the copyright date in this is 2000, and it's called Christmas Treasury, and it's a family classic edition, and it's a beautiful book. It's got gold gilded pages, and it has all sorts of different countries in it, and stories from those countries, and traditions, songs. There are Christmas carols with the actual music in here with it. So if you can find this book, I highly recommend it. When I first started doing Christmas Around the World, this is the book I used to get me started. And it has been such a fun tradition ever since. Before I started doing Christmas Around the World, it just sat in my home as a decoration. I can't believe what a treasure I had under my roof and didn't realize it. Now, for Ireland, there are two traditions we do. The first is holly, not the holly yet, the candle. In an old tradition in Ireland, which I always gravitate towards the older traditions, the father of the household would take a large white candle, it would be tall and thick, and he would place it in the front window, the biggest window in the house. And it would serve to lead the way for Mary and Joseph and symbol that they were welcome there in their home. And I used to do window candles that look like, little thin candles, but I couldn't find any of those this year. And I did find some thicker white candles. They're not tall, but it's okay, guys. This is just us doing our version. I can't always be authentic. For one, I'm not from these countries, so I can't claim these traditions as a person from that country. But as I said in one of my videos before, these things have become traditions in our home, and they're special to us. So this year we are just using the smaller white candles, and they'll be fine. Now, another tradition was one that originated in ancient times in Ireland. Guys, this one is so old, and we don't do this exact tradition. We just take a piece of it. On St. Stephen's Day, it was a tradition for young men and young women to dress up in costumes, and they would kill a wren and place it in a holly bush. And they would carry this holly bush throughout the town, reciting a poem or a song, and they would end up asking for money for this poor, wretched what is it? Wren, for heaven's sakes. Oh my goodness, not a wrench or a winch. Oh my. But anyway, the tradition evolved, and they no longer would carry around the actual dead wren. They wouldn't kill a wren. They would just carry around a holly bush attached to a large pole and go from house to house singing this little poem. I thought I had written it down for you. I didn't. It's online. You guys can look it up. It's easy. And so it's mostly faded out now. There are a few little towns, according to what I read, that still do it. And they will go around singing or saying this little stanza from a poem. And then they will ask for money for the poor, starving wren. So, anyway, we don't do that. We don't parade around with a holly bush on top of a tall pole, but we do put up some holly in the house just to help us to remember the story and the tradition and just bring a sense of warmth to our home. So, let's get started. Here is our holly that we did for Ireland. I don't have my own holly bush or tree, so I had to clip from a friend's tree, so I only got 2 little sprigs. But it adds just a little touch in the right place. Okay friends, that concludes our video for today. I hope you enjoyed the 2 countries we covered, and maybe you picked up a little bit of inspiration for your family. Thank you so much for joining me. Until we meet again, may you be blessed. Love you guys.